Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 21 of my 30 favorite bass players of all time. We've been counting down and we will continue to count down here in this month of June in 2025, picking out our favorite bass players across all genres, right? It's all up for grabs. Rock, blues, jazz, fusion, prog, metal, all forms of metal, right? Pop, doesn't matter. They can play any type of music. The important thing is you love their bass playing within the context of the music that they have released, whether it's solo stuff or band related, whatnot, right? So today we've got a absolute master who has been one of those guys who I've listened to in various different bands and playing with different artists through the years in the world of jazz. And he is just Mr. Consistency. He's just so good. And there's a reason why. If you go look at his discography, he has played on a million albums by a million different bands and artists. There's a reason for it. Let me bring to the stage. And he's still alive and kicking at 88 years old. My pick for today, Mr. Ron Carter, one of the all-time greats, ladies and gentlemen, on the upright acoustic double bass. I mean, just doesn't get any better than this. Doesn't get any better than Ron Carter. He has played with everybody in the jazz world, in the pop world. He's just seriously, go just once you're done watching this video, go look up Ron Carter. Go to his Wikipedia page and look at Ron Carter discography and be amazed at the long, 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 long list of all the artists that he has appeared on albums for and all the albums. I mean, it's legend, legendary, absolutely. And yeah, he's mostly known as a upright acoustic bass guy. And what he does with that bass, just so good. He's got this kind of leathery, melodic sense, which I think is just absolutely so cool and fits with just any style of jazz for the most part. He can do the fast stuff. He can do those crazy triplets and things like that. He can do the more kind of meditative stuff. And he does it all. If you give him some space to do a bass solo, he will do it. He will wow you. If you just want him to kind of thud along and kind of bridge the gap between all the passages of these instrumental tracks, he can do that as well. He does everything. And he's so good, so consistently great, and so important. Like I said, there's a reason why Ron Carter was asked to play on so many albums over the years because he's that damn good. So let's talk a little bit about, and this was an almost impossible assignment here, trying to pick out my three favorite albums featuring his bass playing because I think any album I've ever heard him on is a favorite, and he's on so many of my favorite jazz albums. It's crazy. So I tried to, instead of picking, I could have easily picked three albums that he played with Miles, or I tried to do give you a little variety. So I gave you all my selections are from different artists, right? So let's start off. I'll go chronologically here. Going to start off with Herbie Hancock's Maiden Voyage. So, of course, this album was done when both were in the Miles Davis band. And this is Herbie's, geez, I believe this was his fifth solo album, if I remember correctly, and a killer album, an absolute killer album. This was released in 1965 on Blue Note Records. And basically, here you have Herbie, right, on piano, along with saxophonist George Coleman, Freddie Hubbard on trumpet, Ron Carter on bass, and drummer Tony Williams. So right there, you got three. So, I mean, basically, Tony, Ron, and Herbie, part of the Miles Davis group. You had Freddie was also in and out of Miles's group over the years. An absolute killer album and amazing for so many things. It's just the breathtaking melodies, the ensemble playing, the arrangement's so good, and there behind it all is that. I mean, it's just he's there. It's that bass is always there. Title track Maiden Voyage is so good. Eye of the Hurricane is classic. Dolphin Dance is one of Herbie's signature tracks. So good. I mean, everything on here is great. Survival of the Fittest, Little One, all spectacular. 42 minutes of classic jazz. And if you haven't heard this album, you need to. It's one of the absolutely all-time greats. And Ron is, one of the many stars of the show here. And that's the great thing about these albums is that everybody shines. When you're talking some of these classic jazz albums from like the 50s and 60s, everybody gets their chance to do their thing. So there's bass solos on here, and especially on my next pick, which is another drop dead classic. And when I'm talking about the non-fusion albums from this artist, this probably is, if it's not my favorite, it's my number two, and that is Miles Smiles from the Miles Davis Quintet from 1967, Columbia Records. And again, this is, to me, one of the great, all-time great jazz ensembles, right? It's the second of the six albums they would do together. Miles on trumpet, Wayne Shorter on saxophone, Ron Carter on bass, Tony Williams on drums, and of course, Herbie Hancock on piano. An amazing, amazing album that's so complex. I mean, just it's noted for being one of the most rhythmic and varied and like modally challenging jazz albums of its era. And it absolutely is. It's like, there's stuff going on. I can totally see people who are not 100% into jazz listening to this and it being it's coming across to them like kind of free jazz. It's very chaotic. But so when you think about everything that they're doing together, the synergy between these players is so good. And you've got, songs written by, Miles, Wayne wrote three songs on this album, right? You got Orbits, you got Footprints, one of Wayne's classic tracks. Dolores is on here. You got the amazing Gingerbread Boy, you got Freedom Jazz Dance, and of course the great Circle, written by Miles. Just an amazing album. And again, Ron is at the backbone of all of it. One of my favorite rhythm sections of this time period is Ron Carter and Tony Williams. I mean, Tony's an absolute beast on the drums, and his stuff that he did with Ron just absolutely amazing. Such a great album. Really, really great. Really love this one a lot. So that's my pick number two. And my pick number three is going to be, might be a surprise for some of you. Maybe not. It's a great album, but maybe not as notable as some others that I could have picked, but I really love it a lot. And that is going to be Freddie Hubbard's Red Clay. Yeah, another great album. And this is kind of so this is 1970. So this is when you have like that kind of classic uh 60s post bop sound moving into the fusion era. So this is arguably one of those kind of cool midway jazz rock albums. We're moving from one style of jazz into another. And as you can see by the lineup here, we got Joe Henderson on sax, Herbie Hancock, Ron Carter, and Lenny White, right? So a great lineup here. And again, that kind of bleeding from the Miles Davis band and doing all these other side projects and solo albums from, a lot of these guys and just amazing, amazing stuff. And here you've got the Herculean 12-minute title track, which is so good. Delphi is on here, Sweet Sue, The Intrepid Fox, and then the Great Cold Turkey, which of course is their interpretation of the John Lennon classic. And this was not originally on the album when it was first released, but if you have the CD, of course, that's included on there. And that's great. It's 10 minutes long. It's just absolutely amazing. And, Freddie is such a great trumpet player. And he, of course, you love Miles Davis, you love Freddie Hubbard, but I like the fact that on this album you got some electrified stuff going on here. You got electric piano and Hammond from Herbie, which is kind of cool. Very, very cool stuff. And yeah, Ron is doing because it's more like kind of jazz rock fusion. Ron's doing a little bit more aggressive bass playing on here, which is pretty cool. So great album. One of my favorites from this era, one that doesn't get enough due, I don't think. And so as far as song goes. Again, there's so much to choose from. So much. I decided to go a little outside the box and go for something that I think is a little, I mentioned it earlier when we were talking about Ron, a little bit more of like his meditative style, right? With the kind of like that kind of steady, like kind of dreamy, intoxicating thudding stuff that he can do so well. Well, I think he does an amazing on this particular album by Joe Henderson, Power to the People, and it's the opening track, Black Narcissus. Very cool. He does, there's something very hypnotic about the opening kind of bass lines that take you through the first minute or so of the song. And then when, Joe comes in with his sax melodies and everybody else starts playing along, of course, as you can see, you've got Herbie, Jack DeJohnette on drums on this one, Ron Carter, and Mike Lawrence on trumpet. Once he kind of leads you in with that hypnotic kind of thudding bass line, then he's kind of doing all this kind of cool stuff underneath, holding everything together. And then he comes back later in the song and just kind of wows you once again and just kind of just grabs you. It's just so good. I mean, just another really, really strong album. There's so many of these great albums from this time period. So many. It's like if you want to go down the jazz rabbit hole, we've talked about this a lot on the Talking Jazz show. It just the places you can go, the holes you can go in, and the side holes and the gullies, and it's never ending. It's just absolutely endless. So this is another really good album, Power to the People by Joe Henderson. And this particular album came out in 1969, and this was on the Milestone record label. So yeah, another great uh, song featuring Ron Carter's bass playing. Again, a little bit different, right? Maybe not as busy, but still that kind of that hypnotic thing that he does so well. Just so good. So good. So let's bring him to the stage one last time before we say goodbye here. Uh, Ron Carter, one of the greats, one of the absolute greats, regardless of genre, but in jazz, a giant of jazz. So that is my pick for today. Let us know what you think of Ron Carter down in the comments below. Let me turn off the Prezi here so you can see me the right way around. There we go. So there'll be another one tomorrow, right? We're at day 20 tomorrow, pick number 20. Not day 20 of the month, but pick number 20. So stay tuned for that and get your pick ready, and we'll talk about it tomorrow together because that's what we always do. Stay tuned here on the channel. We've got more stuff coming up. We've got In the Prog Seat tonight. It is Tuesday night. We're going to be talking about our favorite artists that aren't within the prog spectrum, right? So in the prog scene, we're always talking about prog. You know what prog bands we like, albums we like, all that kind of stuff, but we never really talk about those non-prog bands and artists that we love a lot that have nothing to do with progressive rock. We're going to talk about that tonight. So stay tuned for that. A kind of a non-prog show on In the Prog Seat. So that's coming up. We got more new album reviews coming at you this week. Got all sorts of stuff. Got new Naxatraz, Envy of None, new George Joe. We've got Motorcycle, Siratungal, Nad Sylvan, Auchrist, Roadhouse, Agripelter, all sorts of stuff. I've got a big pile of stuff I'm looking to get to. So, and I'll get to it one at a time as we go through. And I'm really hoping, like maybe over the weekend and next week, I'm going to really catch up on these and kind of get these out of the way because I have a lot of other cool stuff I want to listen to, and I want to get these new releases out of the way because they don't stop coming in. So yeah, so stay tuned for that. We also, Stephen and I will be doing a full-blown review on the Still Living in the Past reissue, right? Remix from Steven Wilson that just came up. I did the unboxing video last night for those of you who might have missed it, but we'll be doing a full review of the actual music and everything included in there. So that's coming up in the next week or two or so. So stay tuned for that. And because it doesn't officially release till early July, so we may wait a little bit just to do a closer to release date. So stay tuned for that. We'll both be busy listening to that over the next couple of weeks. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea of Tranquility membership options all down below. Thanks in advance for all your support there. It's greatly appreciated. We'll see you soon here with more stuff. We've got coming up later this week. We've got the UK connection. We've got ranking the albums, all sorts of stuff happening. So stay tuned for all that. I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.